Straight to the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop. Stand still, that's the motto, yeah. Brand new bands for the auto, oh. Foot to the ground, full throttle. Big energy for the night like lotto. Y'all talk lots, never this quiet. Life like a Seinfeld plot. Vault full of songs, all of them bombs. Something like a minefield guy, boom. Get it, tickets running out quick. Bet it, never getting outbid. Said it, never had to shout it. They said I couldn't ever do it, okay, how's this? Fit a week worth of work in a minute. Machine well oiled, you know how I stay efficient. To-do list written, I do this different. Hold up, wait a minute, I ain't finished. Look, flows the same now. Paved the way, the snakes and fakes are chased out. Back to back to back, I changed the pace now. Had to stack the cash until the bank's out. Straight to the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you all having a great Friday. Welcome to our webinar on Microsoft 365 Copilot. My name is John Zari. I'm a CEO with the Point Alliance. We are a Microsoft 365 specialist based in Toronto, and we are happy to have you here. So for today's session, we will recording this session, will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and we also send you a follow-up email with all the information, how to access that information. Please feel free to post any question you might have in a chat or in a question and answer. We're happy to get to it. We have a mix of the slides and the videos to kind of bring you a great insight in the whole AI and, as I mentioned, Microsoft 365 Copilot for today's agenda. And then we concluded with the next step and additional resources might benefit you going forward. Again, if we don't get to answer some of your questions, please feel free to reach out. We will have the contact information at the end. So let's start with the AI in 2025. Again, is the most popular topic, regardless of what business you are in. The AI has been talked about, and how is it going to affect your business. So as of 2025, there are over 70,000 vendors that provide the AI functionality between the softwares, and again, the numbers are growing, and there are lots of different players there. So how do we decide what's the best for us, and how is that Microsoft differentiate from those things? And so this is some of the big players. Of course, we got Microsoft, we got Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, NVIDIA, and Tesla. So why Microsoft 365 Copilot? Again, what is important that is a seamless integration across all the apps, such as Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Microsoft Teams, and so on. It's personalized and secure access. Again, security is paramount. And we're going to hear that we talk about security a lot through today's webinar. Proven productivity outcomes. Again, we're all using the tools, and we're all familiar with them. A modern and unified AI experience, consistent with the rest of the Microsoft products. Enterprise security and customization. Again, the AI security is paramount, and how it works. And the great thing about the Microsoft 365 Copilot, it sits right on top of your existing security. You do not have to kind of add anything or make any changes. It's take advantage of that, and the same security that you have today and you enjoy, the Copilot will abide by that. Ongoing innovation and support. Microsoft is putting lots of effort into the improving the tool. And again, since they released the tool over a year ago, and the capacity is increasing, there are more and more apps now that take advantage of the Copilot built into it. So let's talk about the Microsoft AI overview with the Copilot. So AI transformation for Microsoft is not just about technology. You want to increase business values. You want to optimize the cost and help employee thrive. Again, employees are asking for AI these days. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity, becoming a necessity. Based off the survey they have done with the SMBs, and these are like a sub 500 organization, most of them are projecting a 353% ROI over the 3 years period. So just to kind of use a simple example is that if we save 20 minutes a day, right, using AI, and it's integrated to how we do it from the drafting email, I'm talking about even the basic stuff, working on the Excel spreadsheet or Teams meeting and recap, 20 minutes a day will adds up to 3 months, 3 weeks a year. That's a significant amount of time that only using the AI for 20 minutes a day would have. And that number will increase going forward. So organization is seeing 6% increase in net revenue due to faster time to market, 20% reduction in operating costs due to process efficiency, increased productivity, 61% increase in employee satisfaction due to relief from mundane tasks and faster access to information. Again, this will be different from each organization and how we use it, but this is just some general numbers. Of course, with anything technology and AI, with all the benefit, also becoming the risk. And what is concerning people out there? So data oversharing and data leak, 80% of leaders cited leakage of sensitive data in their main is the main concern they have. Identification of the risky AI use, 41%. AI governance and risky visibility, 84%. So that's why important about the Copilot for Microsoft 365. So it is built on a Microsoft comprehensive approach as it is security, compliance, privacy, and of course, responsible AI. So few points here. They secure the data at rest and in a transit, so you can make sure that your information is not being intercepted. You control the data. Using a Copilot within a Microsoft 365 environment, all the information stays within the organization. The data will never leak, never used for learning and not and for training. So it is just within the boundaries of organization. And again, you're protected against AI security and copyright risk, again, because it's all within the fundamental of the how Microsoft works. So this is a big diagram, and we're not going to go to every piece of it, but we want to look at the numbers 1 to 5, that how is that the whole process works. So to simplify that, again, user prompts are sent to the Copilot, and the prompt is a request that you send. One thing you will recognize, as each item I go to, we are introducing new acronym, and some of them you might heard already, and some might not. So I'm going to go to detail and explain what those things means. So user prompts is the request you send. Once you send a request, it's go to something called Microsoft Graph, and that's a gatekeeper into the security and data you have access. So that's very important. You may send a request and get verified. Does John have access to that information? Then Copilot send the modifier prompt to the large language model. Copilot receive a response back, and then at the end, Copilot access Microsoft using a Microsoft Graph again for purview and compliance. Let's just say you have an email that you're drafting and you're responding to it, and there's 5 members on it. So what is happening? You asking Copilot to do some research, the information come back, and you sharing some information. So the result you get is based off who is also copied on that email. And that's very important. So what it does do, it says, okay, all these people have access to those things. So that's a purview and compliance, which is very important. All right. So again, I see a question about licensing, and we will share that with you shortly on the licensing as well. That's a very good question. So let's just talk about some of those terms we use. So what is a prompt? A prompt in Microsoft 365 Copilot is an instruction request you send in. Basically, that's what you type in the bot in the chat box. These terms are go across all AI vendors. So if you're using ChatGPT or those things, so that's what the prompting called. You're prompting, you're sending a request. And you want, and when combined with the grounding and semantic index, it generates a useful context-aware response. And that's the important part of it. So you're going to say, okay, what is a grounding? So Grounding Microsoft 365 Copilot means is that AI pulls from real relevant context, either from your enterprise environment via Microsoft Graph that we talk about, or from the web to make the responses more accurate, reliable, and meaningful. Graph, we touched on it a few times. Microsoft Graph is unified API data model that connects all Microsoft services and map relationship between people, content, and activities. It is what makes the intelligent features like Copilot possible, right? Because again, bring the information. Next thing, semantic indexing. This is very important, and one of the reasons that if two people put in the same prompt, the result come back is based off the semantic indexing because it's an AI-powered organizational brain that maps meaning across your data, enabling Copilot to understand context, reduce the hallucination, and deliver accurate business aware. And also will look at your relevant information. I have a short video that will explain that in detail. Large language model, LLM, we hear that a lot. So LLM in Microsoft 365, powerful AI brain, like a GPT-5 and like a chat GPT. So Microsoft was one of those main investor in the Access AI, which is a company that owns chat GPT, and they're using the same engine. So again, engine recently in the recent months has moved to the GPT-5, which is the latest one and is more advanced, is it? And will help you interpret your prompt reason through your Microsoft data and generate context-aware responses, crossword, Excel, Outlook terms, and Teams, and more. So by combining the LLM and semantic index and graph and grounding, Microsoft ensures result are relevant, accurate, and secure to your business content. And GPT, you hear that a lot. So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Again, you might not need to know any of this, but just going to give you a context how this thing come together. And that's the first diagram I show you. And again, we will share this slide with you. If you want, you can. You will have access to all this information. And at the end is a response comes back, right? You start with the prompt, you provide the intent prompt, Copilot use your data, grounding, an AI engine, LLM, reason it out, and you get a business-ready response coming back.
When you submit a prompt, Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365 brings in your universe of data via Microsoft Graph. It uses the semantic index for Copilot to correlate activity signals, retrieving indexed information that is uniquely relevant to you. It then presents the combination of your prompt with what was retrieved to the large language model to generate an informed response. Importantly, semantic index for Copilot works on two levels. By default, it indexes information within SharePoint inside your organization's tenant. Second, each user also has their own separate index for email and their individual important documents, like files shared with them, where they've commented, or were @mentioned, and more. This two-pronged approach is what increases relevancy, allowing Copilot for Microsoft 365 to orchestrate AI-generated results that are unique to you as a user based on your explicit access to information.
All right, so that's very important because we get that question a lot. Is AI and a Copilot will have access to information? I don't know. That's very important. So you always only have access to information that you would have in normally with Copilot or without Copilot. It will not go beyond your access. So and the question we had about the Copilot licensing, this section will answer that. So there's two flavors of the Copilot. There's a Microsoft Copilot chat, which was introduced about less than a year ago, and the full version of the Copilot. So Copilot chat is basically the same thing as you would use like a chat GPT or any other tool, but it is within your enterprise data, and the enterprise data protection is in place. And that's very important to make sure that whatever you put there, it is secure and it will not be used or leaked outside. One of the things you have to consider, if you're using a public AI tools and you are sharing information and they have the right to use those information for learning or whatever it is. So you need to really read the copyrights and within any tool you use. Again, the tools like a DeepSeek, they can even capture your keystrokes or those things. So I will really kind of, you want to think about that when you're using those public sites. So you definitely don't want to put any sensitive information, any company related information. And that's why the Copilot chat come to the picture. So when you add a Copilot license, Copilot chat become even more powerful. Uh, uh, that work directly within your productivity app. Again, Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, and the list is increasing day by day.
Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI companion that helps inform and inspire you with helpful advice, feedback, and answers. There are a few versions of Copilot for you to consider. Let's take a look at Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat and Microsoft 365 Copilot. Copilot Chat is available to businesses that have a Microsoft 365 subscription at no additional cost. With it, you can access features like text generation, image generation, and basic data analysis. Because it's grounded in the web, it can reason over the entire internet and quickly pull in relevant information. For example, you can get help with tasks like drafting emails or getting summaries of documents that you upload. Next is Microsoft 365 Copilot, the paid version of Copilot, which gives you all of the functionality of Copilot Chat, plus the ability to access business emails, create Teams meeting summaries, summarize information in Word or Excel, create draft PowerPoint presentations, find information in OneDrive and SharePoint, and more. Finally, Copilot agents are available in both Microsoft 365 Copilot and Copilot Chat. These AI-driven agents can be created and used to connect to your organization's data to automate and execute business processes. With them, you can troubleshoot with customers in real time, or let it handle repetitive tasks like answering commonly asked HR questions. There are agents that are free and agents that are billed based on usage. Now that you know the differences, go ahead and start using Copilot to boost your productivity and streamline your tasks.
All right, just to, again, summarize that in a short, Copilot chat is available to anyone with a Microsoft and any type of licenses. So it's there. You can go to that through the browser, access it. You can use it on the mobile app. Once you get a Microsoft 365 license, which is a paid version, and that will give you extra functionality there. And you also see that once the license is in place, you will see Copilot icons within the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, and also allow you to do things like if you're in Teams and you're recording a meeting, creating a meeting recap, which is one of those great features available. I want to talk about a couple of other terms as was mentioned, agents. An agent Microsoft is custom-built AI assistant that you can build and you can set it up to kind of run behind the scene, or you can interact with it, but it's predefined. And once the agent is created, you can share with the other your team members. So agents, if you don't have a Copilot license, you can it is per consumption. So you need to kind of pay for it every time you use the agent. Within the Microsoft 365 Copilot, once you have the license, there's no cost to the agent. To build the agent, the tool is called Copilot Studio, which is coming with your licenses. That's available. It's a toolkit for customizing, extending the Copilot, enable to build AI-powered agents. And agents are very powerful, and that's something you hear about all the vendors that talk about agent and agent and agent. So this is the ways you can reduce redundancies and put tasks in place, or you have a data source that maybe it is a knowledge base that you build an agent in front of it that you can prompt with the agent and get answers back with base of your knowledge base and so on. So there's many use to it. And the tools also extend in cases outside of Microsoft 365. You can extend it behind that. So just planning, by the way, these prices are in Canadian dollar, that Microsoft 365 Copilot for the US, I think it's about $30. But you can see the chat part is in both of them. Agent is available. Of course, use it agents, and again, you see triangles. That means per use. Personal assistant. That means the tool built in the Teams, Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, only available in the paid version. And that the list is, again, it says in preview, is extending. And the Copilot control system. Those are important as well. So for the management or for the IT team to be able to see the usage of it, be able to control where is the Copilot available or not, and if there need to be some boundaries built around it as how Copilot can access things. So let's just dig in a bit more into the Copilot chat and how that works. As we mentioned, again, the chat plus agent and IT control. So that's come for free when anyone has any type of Microsoft 365 license and is available today.
Copilot Chat gives you free and secure enterprise-ready AI chat powered by GPT-4o in a familiar and consistent interface. Say you work in business planning for an EV charging company and you're developing the strategy for the year. You start by asking Copilot to do some research on the web. You want some basic information, like how EV charging has grown by region. Copilot is grounded in the web, so it can reason over the entire internet and quickly pull the relevant information. Great! Now let's see how these national trends compare to your sales results. With Copilot Chat, you can easily and securely upload files, like your sales data, and have it visualize your regional sales for the past few quarters. And you can continue to iterate with Copilot, like asking it to recommend strategies to help increase sales in lower performing regions. With Copilot Chat, you can quickly gather insights from the web and securely upload and analyze your data, bringing the power of AI directly to your workflow.
All right, so that's the overview of it. You can see how powerful it is, and again, it's important to kind of emphasize on the fact of the enterprise data security is in play when using the Copilot chat and compare with any other public chat if you use. So Copilot for Microsoft 365, again, access to the large language model, Microsoft Graph, that means your data, what you have access to, Microsoft 365 apps that it's integrated to, and also access to the internet. Microsoft Copilot, that where you can find it, again, you can access it through the web, as we mentioned, and the mobile is available. And just to kind of touch on that again, Copilot Studio and agents, and also you can look at adoption and measurement. That's very important because this is a large investment for organization, and you want to make sure are there people using it? And again, this is to gonna look at the usage and help people if they do need additional training or they're not using the tool the best. So last touch on this again, consistent UI for AI, because you're already using all the productivity apps. You're familiar with that. You're familiar with all the ribbon on top of all the apps, which is consistent. Integrate in the tools that everybody used already. So that's the new learning required. Platform for agents and extensibility. So again, the tool is just in the early stages, as we have hear about that, and it's more and more get added on a monthly basis. We see the reports. Enterprise grade security, privacy and compliance, because that's very important. When you're working with other clients, they want to make sure, are you taking all the proper measures to be secure? Flexible processing and deployment, as I said, the chat is a no charge, and you can also apply the Copilot licenses to people need. So it's not all or none. You can go and measure AI impact. So over the last many months, the list has grown. So we started from Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, Teams, and Excel. Now you can see the Copilot in the OneNote, OneDrive, Loop, Whiteboard, Planner, in the Forms, in the SharePoint, in the Clipchamp, and Aviva. So the list is growing. So let's look at it, how people are using this thing. And again, it's different for each person and each organization, but these are the top 10 ways to try it, right? Recap a meeting, number one for sure. Imagine you had an hour meeting, somebody need to take all the notes and kind of organize it and summarize it. Imagine the meeting was finished. A matter of minutes, you were presented with the summary of the meeting. Of course, with anything AI generated, you need to kind of review those information to make sure it's all good and correct before you're sharing it. While all the heavy work is done, and you have saved hours of time, and also you can get that information to the attendees in a faster fashion. Additionally, the recap is great if you miss the meeting. Basically, you can go to the recap. You can even ask question, was this subject was discussed? So it is, you can go over all the transcript and search for you and give you additional information. So it is really a fantastic feature. Summarize the email thread. Let's just say you were away for a few days, you come back, your mailbox is flooded with the messages. How great would it be just get a Copilot to summarize the stuff for you, to give you a snapshot. Draft the email. You want to respond to email, probably you want to change the tone or length of it. You can push a button and have Copilot to assist you with that. Again, another great feature there. Summarize the document. How often you get this long document is it take hours to kind of get a gist of it. Not that you should not read the full document, but if you want a summary of it, a matter of seconds would give you a summary. You can even ask questions to provide you some bullets. Tell me about the topics of projects. Give me some ideas. Number 7, help me write. Again, if you have a writer blocks and you want to give some context to it, you can put all the information there and have Copilot to kickstart that document for you. You can even refer to other documents. Let's just say you're responding to RFP. You can say, okay, I'm responding to this RFP with a link to the RFP, then also use my company template, then also put that. So when they're drafting a document, we'll look into the RFP, look at the format you like to get responded, and create all those things. So those will be hours and hours of work. What did they say? So you can go to the Copilot and ask about the person and those things, and that will look into your mailbox, your chat, your OneDrive, and so on. How do I, like if we get into Excel and sometimes we are wondering, how does this feature works? It is a great way to kind of go there and ask Copilot and help you and show you the whole process of how the formula works and so on. Translate the message. This feature is great. You can instantly ask it to translate it to the language you want. Within the Teams meeting now, they have a live voice now. So basically, if the person is speaking a language is not your native language, you can have it. So as person is speaking, you hear it in the language of choice now. That was added a few months ago. It's incredible. There's lots of prompts available out there. So you can go to aka.ms/prompts, and there's hundreds of those. Just give you ideas. So this is just 10 of them, and there's many more. So to work with any tool, you need to kind of best use it and give the proper instruction to it, right? So again, Copilot is not any different. And what example we use is that just you need to build a relationship with a Copilot, honest, truth, and relationship as you would have with your friend or your partner, and be very clear. So that's very important. When instruction you give, don't put just a couple of words. And sometimes I type few paragraph, maybe if need to be. Depends what you want to get out of that. So it is very important to be clear and specific. Keep it conversational. You put a prompt in, and the result might come back. You can reason that's with it, and it's okay. How about this? Give examples. If the result coming back is not what you want, say, look at this example. This is what I'm looking for, and so on. Ask for feedback. Any result to come back is also provide you with all the resources. Where did you find those information? So you have all those footnotes. You can refer to it, and you can provide them more instruction. Write legibly. That's very important. Always check for accuracy. That's you not just because AI provide the information, don't take it as it is and just share it without checking that. Check the resources. As I said, there'll be a footnote if you're doing research and so on. Provide a detail. So the better detail, the better result. And of course, you want to be polite. There's no point to get angry with AI. AI is your friend. So on the opposite side, don't be vague. Request inappropriate on unethical content. use slangs, jargons, or informal. I said, don't use text message type of how you text message when using AI. Give conflicting instruction. That's very important. And also interrupt or change the topic abruptly. So if you're prompting and asking, let the result come back. If the subject change, start a new task, right? So on the top, you will have a button set a new task, just to start a new conversation. Don't mix things together. So next, we're gonna look at the how we leverage some of these tools, right? So we have some examples here, and some of these examples you might say, okay, this is very overwhelming. But the whole idea of this example is that they're gonna look at it, what is the possibility of it. Sometimes when we know that what a possibility it is, we know we can search and we can find ways to kind of get to those to work with the AI in the same way. So I don't want to kind of be overwhelmed with this thing. Well, I won't be able to do this thing. I just want to showcase to you what's a possibility. So we're going to do Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook and the Teams. And let's just start with the Word.
With Copilot in Word, you have an invaluable partner working at your side, helping you become a better writer. You will now be able to seamlessly integrate work data directly into your document. Let's use an example where you need to respond to an RFP. To get started, you ask Copilot to reference the latest product specs and mirror the approved format previously used. You had a great meeting on the customer's needs. So you ask Copilot to pull in details from the meeting and chat. Copilot gets to work, creating a plan to craft the document. Within seconds, Copilot executes its plan, automatically attaches a security label to match the source material, and creates your first draft, a task that otherwise may have taken you or someone in your team hours to complete. Now it's time to iterate on Copilot's work. It looks like it didn't include updated pricing for this customer. Let's ask it to reference an email and pull in the discount. The proposal could also use a little more information about your key value propositions, including your certifications and standards. This will look best as a table in your document. Let's add why these certificates are important for retailers. There you go. Now, with the help of Copilot in Word, you have a polished RFP response in the fraction of the time it would have taken for you to do on your own. And you're ready to review and share the document with your team and the customer.
All right, next we will show how Copilot can assist you in Excel.
Copilot in Excel makes anyone a data analyst. Say you want to understand annual revenue trends, how each product is selling, which categories are performing best, and what's driving sales. To do that, you need to bring together data on product sales, pricing, and customer feedback. First, you import your data sources. Now you have a workbook with all the raw data you need in one place, and you can use Copilot to shape and analyze the numbers. Let's start by figuring out which category of your business is driving the most revenue. You know how to calculate that, but this sheet has 3 years of sales data, with thousands of rows showing sales by product by month. So while it's a routine task, this much data can be unwieldy. You can ask Copilot to quickly calculate monthly revenue by product. It knows how to do that, and which data to reference across tabs. Copilot creates a plan for how it will run those numbers, executes that plan, showing its work as it goes, and prompts you to ask questions or iterate on the solution it reached. It looks great, so you're ready to add that column to your spreadsheet. Now a new ask has come in, and you need to understand how each product category is performing, and ensure that you are selling at least 100K in product in each category per month. Let's start by comparing sales by category. You ask Copilot to create a simple bar chart so you can quickly see which product categories are selling the best. And with conditional formatting, it highlights the product lines that aren't meeting the $100,000 minimum threshold, so you know where to focus. Now that we know which products aren't selling well, let's dig a little deeper and see what we can learn from the customer feedback. Copilot in Excel can now reason over text, like this raw customer data. Copilot analyzes all the customer feedback from the past quarter and surfaces the top 3 concerns. It looks like charging speed might be an emerging issue. Let's ask Copilot to highlight customer reviews that mention charging speed. Now, with the help of Copilot, you've taken a complex, disparate data set and quickly analyzed it, giving you a full picture of your revenue trends that you can bring to the upcoming business review.
This is very phenomenal what you can do with this thing. Again, to me, it looks a bit overwhelming, but I'm starting to use some of these features, and it is amazing. So next one is a PowerPoint. And again, we all use PowerPoint, and you can see how easy Copilot can assist us in building a PowerPoint document.
Copilot in PowerPoint is your creative partner as you iterate and co-create to develop your presentation. Let's say you're a sales lead getting ready to pitch a new retail customer. You ask Copilot to create a compelling pitch deck in your company template that shows how your product will attract shoppers and keep them in the store longer. Now, with Copilot in PowerPoint's new narrative builder, you are in creative control. It starts with a draft outline, where you can reorder the flow, delete topics you don't want, or add new ones, and ensure you've got a solid outline before creating a presentation. Let's add a section on our key value props tailored to customer insights. And another section with customer testimonials. Within seconds, you have a content outline, and you're ready to start on your presentation. Copilot makes a plan for creating the slides and executes it, crafting the titles and draft copy, pulling in images from your corporate library, and applying your company's PowerPoint template so the presentation is on brand. Now you're ready to iterate with Copilot as your partner. It looks like this slide could use an image. You tell Copilot what you're looking for, and within seconds, it provides several options from your company's approved image library. Copilot can also provide AI-generated images using Designer and DALL-E 3. Now that you've selected a photo, PowerPoint gives you several slide design options aligned to your company brand guidelines to choose from. You can keep iterating, but let's see what Copilot has helped you build so far. It added speaker notes to every slide, built slide transitions, and added animations, giving you a professional-looking presentation that's on brand. With Copilot as your design, writing, and editing partner, you can focus on nailing your pitch.
Yes. So again, I personally use these features a lot. It does a great job. And even though your presentation might not be as polished as this when Copilot is finished, again, is a great starting point. And you can see you can add information. So the more you content, maybe you're going to the meeting and you can even use that meeting agenda to upload to the Copilot and say, this is a meeting agenda, I need a slide for that. So it is a great starting point for sure.
Managing your inbox can feel like a full-time job. But now, Copilot in Outlook can help you prioritize what's in your inbox. It analyzes all your emails using both the content of your messages and the context of your job, like who your manager is and who's on your team, to highlight what's most important. You can then sort by priority based on Copilot's analysis. Let's take a look at this email from a new customer, Tailwind Traders. When you select it, Copilot shows you why it thinks it's significant and highlights what action you need to take. This is a key customer for the next few months, so you teach Copilot that all emails mentioning them are a top priority. Now Copilot knows to prioritize any email from Tailwind Traders. Copilot is your partner, helping you manage your inbox so you don't miss what's most important. Now let's switch to Outlook Mobile. You have to run to a meeting, but you don't want to leave the customer hanging, so you need to draft a response on the go. We're making it even easier to be productive on your phone with Copilot in Outlook. Copilot analyzes the email and offers some suggested responses. Now all you have to do is pick one as your starting point and instruct Copilot on what else to add. Copilot generates a solid draft, and it's ready for editing. Because this is going to a customer, you want to make it more formal, so you ask Copilot to adjust the tone. You can easily flip through the options and select which version you like the best. The second paragraph could also use an update. You can edit it yourself, or ask Copilot to help. Let's highlight the relevant section and tell Copilot what you want to include. Once you're happy with the edits, you can accept the changes and your email is ready to send.
All right, and the last one, we're going to go to the Copilot and Teams meeting, which
Copilot
is
in Teams can now reason over both the meeting transcript and the meeting chat to give you a complete picture of what was discussed. You meet as a team to discuss the customer's RFP. As the meeting wraps, you think you might have missed some questions in the chat. Often the best ideas and the most thoughtful questions happen in the chat. Now, Copilot in Teams captures this valuable, higher bandwidth conversation. Let's open up Intelligent Recap and ask Copilot if you missed any questions. It quickly scans what was said and what was in the chat, looks for questions, and checks if any were left unanswered. Now you have a list of any open questions without having to scroll back through the chat. With the help of Copilot in Teams, you can quickly and easily stay on the same page with your team.
all right. So that was the last of our demos. I hope you enjoy those. So next step and some additional resources we share. Again, as I mentioned, we will send you a link to the PowerPoint document and the video. All these links will be hot. So if you check our website, if you need help with the Microsoft Copilot Copilot Readiness Assessment, we can help you with that. You can learn how AI is helping create new ways of working. There's a link to that. There's a great resources that Microsoft provided. Getting started on the adoption. If you want to look into the security, privacy, and compliance, of course, and also for the prompting, you can check out the Copilot Lab. Next thing that we have here, you can also check. It is the executive click-through demos that goes through all the things we show you. You can click through it and see it for yourself if you don't have a licenses for that. So that's it. We are reaching the end of our session for today. I hope you enjoyed this webinar, and I want to thank you all for attending on this Friday. If you enjoyed it, please scan this QR code and you can give us a 5-star on the Google. It would be greatly appreciate that. If you have any question, I hope I answered the question about the licensing. So once you have the license, Copilot will be enabled in all your productivity app. And again, the list that you saw was growing. Initially, it was Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Teams, and you can see it now surfacing in other places, and you can use it. If you don't have a license, I highly encourage you to use the Copilot chat because you can upload documents safe and secure. You don't have to worry about it. All the information will be secure. So when you go to the Copilot chat, you want to just make sure you log in with your work email, and you will see that you are logged in. So that's very important. So you know you're in the right place, and you will see a green shield on top of that screen. That means the enterprise data protection is placed, and you don't have to worry about it. Putting this sensitive data, it's going to leak or not. That said, again, I want to thank you all, and that's bring our session to a conclusion. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and thank you again for attending today's session.